it's Carissa, and I am here in my craft room today to show you the Letterpress tool from Lifestyle Crafts. This is more of a how-to video than an actual card. I just kind of want to get you familiarized with the tool itself and how to use it, how I set it up. This is the actual Letterpress tool itself. It is set up to where this opens, and then this opens as well, but I have mine taped down here to just kind of aid in it not shifting around. If you can see this little white sheet under here, this is the packing sheet. And it's just a thin piece of cereal kind of weight cardboard that goes under there, and that way you can adjust the depth of the impression that you get when you run it through your machine. This down here is where you're going to lay your paper to letterpress, and this up here is where you're going to put your plates. And I'll show you that in a minute. This is the Epic 6. This is the embossing cutting tool that this was designed to work with. So I have found my best results with this tool itself, and there are other people who use different tools, but the letterpress itself was designed pressure-wise to work with the Epic 6. The inks come like this, and I will open this box up. This is black ink, and it's a brand new one. They come in little tubes, and letterpress ink is a very special ink. It's very thick, and maybe you'll kind of see it when I'm working with it, but even so, I don't think you understand until you actually work with the ink itself. It's very different than your regular stamping inks or pigment inks or anything like that. So they have several colors in this, and then this is your ink plate and brayer, and this is how you actually apply the ink to the plates. You have some paper positioning strips. I already have mine set up on my plate right here, but these are just little foam strips that you can place on the bottom where you place your paper, and that allows you, if you're going to create several cards, to always have that paper in the same spot. They're all going to be the same. They're all going to be uniform. Really great, and I'll show you those too when I use it. And then you have your plate adhesive. You just put this on the back of the plate to hold it onto this. So let's get started, and I will show you how to use this. Okay, so the first step in my process that I like to do is I like to go ahead and get my ink prepared. And so to prepare your ink, it's really not hard. And I do want to say that this process is going to seem to take longer on the video than it actually does. And the reason for that is because I'm doing a lot of explaining. This is a brand new ink, so it's closed, so I'm just going to puncture the top. And then I am going to squeeze just a very little bit, probably about like that much. Hopefully you can see that. It's not very much at all. You don't need a whole lot of this ink. In fact, I've had some of my inks for a very long time and used them for a lot of projects, and they are still going strong. So you're going to take your brayer then, and you are going to roll the ink out. I'm not trying to move my stuff around here. So you're going to roll this out. And what I like to do is just kind of lift and go back and forth here. Okay, so I have my ink plate prepared here. I've just worked it out. I've just gone back and forth. Usually 30 seconds, a minute, just get it all spread out and even over the plate. And then you can just set that aside. Okay, so here is my letterpress tool, and I have it open, so I'm not sure that you're going to be able to see the whole thing. This is where your plates are going to go. This is where your paper is going to go over here. I've taken the packing sheet out and I put it over under here so that you can kind of see what I'm doing. And then over here you'll notice these are the foam paper guides, and I just leave them on there, and I always set up my project in this corner. I just find that's the easiest way for me. You can find what works for you if you like to set it up in the middle or whatever. I keep mine over here. I leave them there and until I can't stand to look at them anymore because they're so disgusting. So on that note, I will bring this over into view, and I will get my plate set up on here. This plate here is from the Blossom printing plate set, and this is just some of the adhesive backing, and I'm going to show you how I like to do this. So I'm just going to get this peeled off and then stuck to the back. And for some of your smaller plates, you would just cut this down, or I've even used just a double-sided Scotch tape before. So, you know, just if you're going to be doing a lot of cards, I would probably recommend using the adhesive plate adhesive, just because you're going to get a firmer grip. You're going to cover the entire plate and it's going to stay in place better. It doesn't have to be perfect. If I can just get this peeled off here. And then, so now I have sticky on the back of my plate. And then what I will do, this is once again why I wanted to show you how I set it up. Okay, so I have the sticky up over here, and I'm gonna like shift this over here. This is just how I set it up, and I'm just doing this so that you can see it. So what I have here is I have my paper, and I've pushed it up into my guides, and this is why I like to set this up this way. Then what I do is I just lay my plate onto the paper where I want it. And this works well for me because if I have smaller plates that I'm making multiple images on one sheet, then I can just set them up where I want them on the card front, and then I just close the lid right on top of it. So I'm just kind of making sure that I'm lined up over here, and then I can just close this lid. Oops, and I just moved it. But we're still pretty even. So I'm going to leave it there, and then I just push it down. So that's how I do that part. Then I have this plate here, and this textured side is up, and I have my roller with my black ink on it. I chose black so that you could see it well. And then I will just ink up this plate by rolling back and forth over the whole surface. Okay, I have my plate inked, and what I'm going to do now, this is a piece of white A2 letterpress paper, by the way. Letterpress paper is very thick and allows the impression to really go down into the paper. So I'm just going to close that, and then I'm just going to run it through the Epic 6 here. And I'm going to run it right through my Epic 6 here. And I've taken the mat out from underneath because it tends to slip around more. And I'm just going to run it all through. And I have just removed this from the machine, and here's your letterpress paper. I don't know if you can, the camera will pick this up, but this ink is actually pressed down into this paper, and it's just a beautiful effect. It's got texture, it's got dimension. There's really nothing out there that gives you quite this effect as the letterpress. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to finish up a card with this, and I'm going to show you it at the very end. I'm not going to show you the card process. I just really wanted to show you the process of using the letterpress today. So I will show you the card at the very end. Card project. You can see that I've just added very minimal other supplies and just created a really stunning look with this tool. I've letterpressed the words thank you onto one of the mini flat cards in white, and then just added some yellow cardstock ribbon rhinestones. And the great thing really about this tool is all I had to do if I wanted to create 50 of these was to re-ink the plate that I had, stick a new piece of paper on there, and run it through the machine, and I will get the same look every single time. Once that plate is set up on there, you're set up to go for 1 or 50 cards. So it really makes making a ton of cards very easy. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a wonderful day. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me, and I will put a link to the Lifestyle Crafts website on my blog, and you can visit my blog at sprinkledwithglitter.blogspot.com. Thanks for watching, and have a wonderful day.